This isn't just ham, it's liquid gold on a bone. Jamón Ibérico sells for up to $4,500 per leg.
Iberian ham, or Jamón Ibérico, is one of the most expensive meats in the world. A leg of it can cost as much as $4,500.
With waiting lists longer than a Ferrari's. But what makes this Spanish delicacy so expensive? The truth lies in a pig's life of luxury and a secret ritual that turns its meat into one of the world's most coveted foods. Today, join FactoryX as we pull back the curtain on one of the world's most exclusive food rituals, where ancient traditions and modern luxury collide to create a meat so valuable, it's sold by the gram. This isn't just farming, it's the alchemy of turning acorns into edible gold.
The pig that's worth more than a car. Imagine a pig so exclusive, its DNA is guarded like state secrets. The Black Iberian pig isn't just livestock, it's a four-legged gold mine with pedigrees more carefully tracked than racehorses. Born in the sun-drenched hills of Spain and Portugal, these jet-black animals are the only pigs on Earth capable of producing true Jamón Ibérico. And here's why. Their genetics are a freak of nature. Unlike the pink, bloated pigs of factory farms, Ibericos are lean, muscular, and built to roam. Their legs are longer, their hooves tougher, and their bodies designed to trek miles every day in search of one thing, acorns. But these aren't just any acorns. The holm oak and cork oak trees of the Dehesa forests produce a sweeter, oil-rich nut that transforms the pig's fat into something magical. By the time they're adults, their meat is streaked with marbling so fine it rivals Wagyu beef. And their lifestyle? Think spa retreat meets wilderness survival. They're free to root, run, and even socialize. Stress is non-existent because happy pigs mean tastier ham. Yet there's a catch. Only 10% of Iberico pigs qualify for the elite bellota grade, the kind that sells for $200 a pound. The rest? They're downgraded to SIBO if they eat even a single bite of commercial feed. It's a ruthless standard, but that's the price of perfection. And for farmers, one misstep, a pig that strays too far, eats the wrong diet, or falls sick, can mean thousands lost. Because in this world, you're not raising livestock, you're sculpting luxury. And the key to their flavor isn't just what they eat, it's where they live.
The Dehesa, nature's luxury farm. This isn't just farmland, it's a billion-dollar buffet. Designed by nature, the Dehesa, a sprawling mosaic of oak forest and open pastures, exists for one purpose: to create the most expensive ham on earth. Picture this. Every fall, millions of golden acorns rain down from holm and cork oak trees, carpeting the ground in a crunchy, fatty feast. For Iberico pigs, it's like walking into an all-you-can-eat Michelin-starred restaurant, except the meal lasts their entire lives. But the Dehesa isn't just about food. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem where every element has a purpose. The pig's constant rooting aerates the soil, their manure fertilizes the oaks, and their hooves prune the underbrush, preventing wildfires. Even the acorns play a dual role. Their high oleic acid, the same healthy fat in olive oil, doesn't just flavor the meat. It literally rewires the pig's fat cells, turning their intramuscular fat into a silky, melt-on-your-tongue delicacy. Farmers guard these forests like sacred ground. By law, each pig needs at least 2 hectares, about 5 football fields, to roam. Anything less, and the meat loses its prized bellota status. The trees are so valuable, some are centuries old, passed down through generations like heirlooms. And the secret to the Dehesa's success? Balance. Too many pigs, and the acorns vanish. Too few, and the forest chokes on undergrowth. It's a high-stakes dance between nature and profit, one that's remained unchanged since Roman times. Yet climate change now threatens this perfect system. Droughts shrink acorn yields, and industrial farms lurk at the edges, tempting farmers to cut corners. Because in the end, the Dehesa isn't just land, it's the soul of Jamón Ibérico.
The Montanera, a feast fit for kings. This is where the magic happens. the final 3 months that turned good ham into liquid gold. Welcome to La Montanera, the Iberico pig's last supper, where they indulge in an acorn-fueled feast so extreme it would make competitive eaters blush. From October to February, these pigs transform into 4-legged gourmands, devouring up to 20 pounds of acorns daily. That's nearly 10% of their body weight in nuts alone. But this isn't just about quantity, it's a scientific marvel. The acorn's high oleic acid, the same heart-healthy fat found in olive oil, works like nature's alchemy, rewriting the pig's fat composition at a cellular level. The result? A marbling so intricate it melts at room temperature, releasing a buttery, nutty flavor unmatched by any other meat on earth. And because the pigs roam freely, their muscles stay lean, while their fat develops that legendary silkiness, a texture so delicate, chefs slice it thinner than paper to preserve every note. The Montanera is so crucial that Spanish law regulates it down to the day. Only hams from pigs that feast exclusively on acorns during this period earn the coveted bellota label, the gold standard of Jamón Ibérico. Farmers even track each pig's weight gain like Wall Street brokers, because just 5% less fat can mean the difference between a $200 ham and a $2,000 one. Yet this luxury comes at a cost. A single pig needs nearly 2 acres of oak forest to sustain its acorn addiction, making true bellota ham rarer than caviar. And with climate change shrinking acorn harvests, some fear this ancient ritual may soon become history. Because when the acorns disappear, so does the magic. But this luxury comes at a price, and not just in dollars.
The ethical dilemma behind luxury meat. Behind every slice of this golden ham lies the question few want to ask. What's the true cost of luxury? While Jamón Ibérico represents the pinnacle of gourmet craftsmanship, its production walks a razor-thin line between tradition and controversy. Unlike industrial pork operations where animals spend their lives in cramped pens, Iberico pigs enjoy unprecedented freedom, roaming across vast oak forests, socializing in herds, and living what appears to be an idyllic existence. But that freedom comes with an expiration date. The slaughter of Iberico pigs remains one of the most guarded aspects of production. In small villages across western Spain, the process still follows centuries-old methods, quick, local, and producers argue more humane than large-scale slaughterhouses. Yet animal rights groups contend that no kill can ever be ethical when driven by luxury demand. They point to undercover footage showing stressed pigs in their final moments, questioning whether their free-range lives truly justify the end. Even within Spain, opinions are divided. Younger generations increasingly view the tradition through an ethical lens, while older farmers see criticism as an attack on their heritage. "We treat these animals with respect from birth to death," one producer told The Guardian. "But we're not petting zoos. This is how food has been made for 2,000 years." The industry faces another uncomfortable truth: climate hypocrisy. While marketed as a sustainable forest-preserving practice, the carbon footprint of acorn-fed pork is significant. Some studies suggest Iberico production generates 50% more emissions than conventional pork due to the land requirements. And as droughts shrink Spain's Dehesa forests, farmers face pressure to either reduce herds or compromise standards. Neither option ideal for a product built on exclusivity. Perhaps most telling is the silence of celebrity chefs. While Michelin-starred restaurants proudly serve Jamón Ibérico, few discuss its moral complexities openly. As one Madrid-based food critic noted, "We love romanticizing tradition until we have to look it in the eye."
The 4-year Alchemy of Curing. What happens next is nothing short of culinary witchcraft, where science and tradition collide to transform simple pork legs into edible gold. The moment an Iberico pig is slaughtered, a race against time begins. Within hours, the fresh legs are buried under mountains of sea salt, not just for preservation, but to initiate a biochemical metamorphosis. For every kilogram of meat, exactly 1 day of salting is required. Too little, and the ham spoils. Too much, and it becomes inedibly harsh. This precision marks just the first step in a 1,400-day journey, where every decision means the difference between a $200 ham and a $4,000 masterpiece. After washing off the salt, the hams enter cathedral-like curing chambers where temperature and humidity are controlled with monastic precision. Here, something extraordinary happens. Enzymes break down muscle fibers, while molds like Penicillium roqueforti, cousin to blue cheese mold, colonize the surface. Far from being scraped off, this noble mold is carefully brushed and monitored. It's nature's perfect aging system, creating an umami bomb no laboratory could replicate. The real magic happens during the cellar phase, where hams hang in near darkness for 2-4 years. As seasons change, the alternating warmth and cold force the fat to melt and reabsorb repeatedly, creating those translucent ruby streaks that make Iberico unmistakable. Master curators, known as maestros jamoneros, test each ham by plunging a cowbone needle into its flesh, sniffing for the perfect balance of nutty, earthy, and sweet aromas. Yet, even after years of waiting, 30% of hams fail inspection. Some develop bitter flavors from uneven curing, others show textural flaws, invisible to machines. The rejects are sold cheaply as segunda calidad, a sobering reminder that in this world, time guarantees nothing. As one curator confessed, "We're not making ham, we're negotiating with time itself."
The black market of fake jamón, a $200 million scandal. In the shadow of Spain's ham cathedrals lies a dirty secret, a counterfeit industry so sophisticated, even experts get fooled. The moment Jamón Ibérico became a status symbol, fraudsters smelled opportunity. Today, 40% of all Iberico hams sold globally are fakes, according to Spain's Ministry of Agriculture. The scam? Taking $30 supermarket ham, slapping on a counterfeit bellota label, and selling it for 10 times the price. In China alone, authorities recently seized 12,000 fake legs, complete with forged QR codes and holograms, destined for luxury hotels. How the scam works. The deception starts at the farm. True pata negra, black hoof pigs, must be at least 50% Iberian breed. But unscrupulous farmers mix in cheap Duroc pigs while keeping the paperwork clean. Some feed pigs acorns for just 2 weeks instead of the required 3 months, then sell them as bellota. Others exploit labeling loopholes. Chibo de campo, grain-fed with some exercise, marketed as almost bellota. Non-Spanish pigs, raised in Portugal or South America, sold as authentic. Artificial coloring injected to mimic acorn-fed marbling. The most brazen criminals steal discarded official seals from landfills near processing plants. One bust in Madrid found a warehouse stamping fake hams with genuine but expired certifications, a scheme that netted €6 million before detection. The forensic food detectives enter Spain's ham fraud squad, a team of food scientists armed with DNA test kits and infrared scanners. Their tools reveal truths no label can hide. Fat isotope analysis detects acorn-fed versus grain-fed diets, cost €300 test. Hoof DNA testing confirms pure Iberico lineage. X-ray fluorescence spots counterfeit zinc nails. Real Iberico uses only wooden pegs. Even these measures aren't foolproof. When investigators raided a ham laundry in Seville,
they found workers hand-carving fake marbling into cheap hams using heated knives. They studied YouTube tutorials to replicate the fat patterns, confessed one arrested forger.
Celebrity victims and market fallout. The scams hit high-profile targets. A Dubai prince paid $18,000 for a vintage 2016 ham, later proven to be 2021 factory pork. A Tokyo sushi bar featured Iberico Toro that was actually Danish hybrid pork. Online ham clubs sell non-existent shares in aging hams, a Ponzi scheme uncovered in 2023. The fallout is economic as much as cultural. Real Iberico producers lose 150 million euros annually to fakes, forcing many small farms to close. You'll see Chinese factories pumping out Spanish ham with 0% Iberico DNA, warns Juan Vicente Olmos, head of Spain's ham regulatory board. They're not just stealing money, they're erasing centuries of tradition. How to spot a fake? For consumers, the red flags include too cheap. Real bellota costs $90 ham wholesale. No crystallized tyrosine. White amino acid spots that form in true aged ham. Plastic-like fat. Genuine Iberico fat melts at body temperature. Missing bone stamp. Authentic legs are laser etched with ID codes, yet the battle continues. This year, Spanish producers began embedding microchips in hoof cartilage, an anti-fraud measure that costs €20 per pig. As one farmer told me, "We're not just curing ham anymore, we're curing the truth." So, is the world's most expensive ham worth it? After witnessing the centuries of tradition, the ethical debates, and the shadowy world of counterfeit ham, one question remains. Would you pay $4,500 for a single leg? For some, Jamón Ibérico is the pinnacle of culinary artistry, a marriage of nature, patience, and craftsmanship that can't be replicated. Every bite carries the taste of ancient oak forests, generations of expertise, and a lifestyle so rare it's literally protected by law. But for others, it's a luxury too far, an indulgence weighed down by ethical dilemmas, environmental costs, and the ever-present risk of being scammed. So where do you stand? Could you taste the difference between a $200 ham and a $4,000 one? Or is this one of those elite experiences that's more about status than flavor? Drop a comment below. We're dying to hear your take. And if you made it this far, you're clearly a true food fanatic. So why stop here? Hit like if you'd rather watch this process than mortgage your house for a slice, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most exclusive and controversial factory processes. Until then, remember, all that glitters isn't gold. Sometimes it's just really expensive pork. Thanks for watching.